Production offices. Hi, everyone. Jeannie Zalesko, Don McClain, Corey Maggette. You were talking about a throttle pregame. I think there was a bit of a restrictor plate for all my gearheads out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it took a while for that throttle to really kick in, but then it did.
The governor was on in the first half. They didn't have their fastball in the first half, but that's fine. That's the beauty of having guys like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They make up for a lot of things that maybe you don't do well in a quarter or a half. They turned it up in the second half, and mission accomplished, Corey. I think that's what we all wanted. I think it's a favorable matchup for the Clippers. Did what they had to do. Now, Doc can decide what he wants to do Friday. He has that flexibility.
I'm just happy that they played the way they were capable of playing. And you said it early on in that first half. It was maybe like a little bit of sluggish, but all of a sudden they started to put their foot on the gas. And even more from an effect from a defensive standpoint that led to them getting more transition shots, wide open buckets, and then all of a sudden you had Lou coming off the bench, that shot very efficient tonight.
You look at the box score, and that's what when it's good for the Clippers, that's what it looks like. But I started thinking, that's without Trez.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you throw Trez in the mix, hopefully Friday. Clippers are going to be tough.
Yeah. I wonder if he's
Newsflash.
Yeah, right.
Clippers are going to be tough.
I think I'm going to stick with that. We can put that one on a T-shirt and a bumper sticker. But I do want to know whether Trez is going to be active on a Friday. Lots of questions for Doc Rivers. So what do you say? We go back to the bubble, get some react. Doc making his way to the microphone.
Hey, Doc, congratulations on getting the number 2 seed. What did you see from Lou Williams tonight? It seemed like he kind of found his stride, he found his rhythm.
Yeah, he just started getting his rhythm. We talked about driving more, especially in the second half, and I thought he started doing it. But you can just see when he gets his rhythm. Lou is he's a first time I thought he had his legs under him since he's been back.
Next up, Doc is Ohm. Go ahead, Ohm.
Hey, Doc, from the moment that you guys got Kawhi and PG last summer to now and everything you guys have been through, what does it mean to get the number 2 seed in the West?
It doesn't mean a lot. I mean, listen, with the injuries that we've had this year and all the other stuff, for us to be a 2 seed says that we're pretty good, right? That everyone's done a hell of a job to keep this thing going. Now let's hope we can get healthy, get Trez back hopefully in the next couple of days, and go from there.
Next up is Nikki. Go ahead, Nikki.
Hey, Doc. This past 6 games where Paul George has scored over 20 points, what do you think that says in terms of what the break has been able to do for his health and his rhythm?
Yeah, I think it's been great, Nikki. Number one, I thought he was playing great right before the break. I thought that was the best basketball he played those last 10 games. And then instead of taking off, he took his conditioning to another level. And you can see it in his play.
Doc, next we're going to take a question from Brad Townsend right there with you in Orlando.
I'm from Dallas, so I just want to ask you about your thoughts about facing Dallas in the first round.
Not a lot. I mean, they're terrific. The best offensive team in history, right? And they have one of the young stars. They're a 2-star team, though. I mean, they do. Porzingis is playing great. I look at that, and that's a tough matchup in the first round. That's what it is.
As a quick follow, how much of a jump do you have on the scouting? Because you mentioned the other day that you thought it might be Dallas.
Well, I think they thought it was us, too. So I don't know if either one of us had an advantage. We had to win tonight to secure that, So we've played each other, 3 times. We know each other. It's going to be a hell of a series.
Andrew Greif is next. Go ahead, Andrew.
Doc, all year, obviously the goal has been to get PG and Kawhi and some of these guys healthy the playoffs. Where would you assess these guys, where they're at physically right now and where they're at in rhythm?
I don't know rhythm-wise because we still, we just haven't had all our guys here. But physically, I think they're in great shape. Lou is rounding out. Got to get Pat Bear back, Shem back. But Kawhi and PG in particular, they're in great shape right now, and that's where we want it to be.
All right, Doc, last one. For some reason, Troy doesn't want to ask any questions tonight.
So
we'll go to Miriam.
you kind of talked about getting this, wanting to get healthy and kind of feeling sort of relieved and also a little bit impressed with yourselves that you're the 2 seed despite everything. What's the vibe among the guys in that regard?
It's funny. Like, I didn't mention that we secured the 2 seed. I don't think anybody in the locker room talked about it. We really don't care. Like, we want to win it all, and we got to improve as a team. We know that we have work to do, but we're going to the playoffs with that mindset, and that's the only thing that matters right now for us.
Cool.
Great. Thank you, Doc. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Kind of was a mantra coming out of the locker room. Kawhi Leonard was.
They can run off 5, 6, 7, 8 shots in a row and change the complexity of the game. And so that's what is the luxury for Doc Rivers, having 2 guys that can get the job done whenever they want to.
And early on in this one, Paul George up and over the threshold of 13,000 career points, one of only 22 active NBA guys to have that on his resume. And you get the feeling that he's really just kind of warming up, Don.
2 guys that can get the job done whenever they want to.
And early on in this one, Paul George up and over the threshold of 13,000 career points, one of only 22 active NBA guys to have that on his resume. And you get the feeling that he's really just kind of warming up, Don.
Well, he's been the best player for the Clippers in the bubble, and Doc just referenced how he took his conditioning to another level instead of, sitting around during the stoppage. He went to work, got his shoulders right, and you can tell he's nearing that level he was at 2 years ago in Oklahoma City when he was 3rd in the MVP voting. But the beauty is there's 2 of them. It's not just all on PG. He's got Kawhi with him. But not only those 2, they have the deepest team in the league. And you're going to see when the playoffs start, there's going to be other guys emerging. Yeah, these 2 will probably get theirs. But we're going to be talking a lot more about the depth of the Clippers and all the other good players that surround these 2.
And Don, since the health of those 2 shoulders, you can see right away in the first game in the bubble, he was in attack mode. He wanted to attack the rim. He wanted to play as hard as he can, which gave them that ability to improve his conditioning. And right now, like you said, he's probably one of the better players in the bubble. He's getting back to the MVP status that he had last year. And so for the entire league, you better watch out.
We need to get back to the bubble because one of the guys we talked about post-game just the other day, we said Lou Will had his best game of the seeding season. Well, he just outdid himself. That is why Christina Pink found in postgame. We're going to hear from Lou Williams when we come back.
Clippers. All right, Lou, just this morning you were talking about bringing that energy. You certainly did that tonight with your scoring and facilitating 23 and 7. So where do you feel like you impacted the game the most tonight?
Just come off the bench, give us a spark, leadership, give us some energy, just communicating with the guys, making sure everybody understands the position that we're in. We got to start straight. Aren't necessarily there, but we just got to string away some good energy going into the playoffs, and we felt like tonight was important to do that.
Well, yeah, speaking of the playoffs, you guys clinched the 2 seed with the win tonight, which means you are now locked in to play Dallas in that first round. You just saw these guys a week ago, so what are your early thoughts on facing the Mavericks?
Very talented team. We understand who's the leader of the troops over there. So with this win tonight, it gives us an opportunity to start preparing for those guys, start looking ahead into their schedule, and start getting ready for it.
Lou, you guys obviously haven't had your full rotation, and the lineups have been changing a ton. But where's the confidence level for the group right now? When we know what you guys look like when you are at full strength, we just haven't seen it yet.
We feel really good about our chances. We have an opportunity to get Trez back sometimes in the near future, get Pat back in the near future. We'll have everybody together. Get Pat back in the near future. We'll have everybody together. Locking this seed in tonight gives us an opportunity to, have a week to get ready for game 1. Hopefully we have everybody on the same page, but we feel really good about it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lou. Congrats on the win.
Lou Williams, 18th game this season with at least 20 points, 5 assists. That leads the NBA. That is why he is topic of conversation for 6th man. He's also why we're chewing on his activity right now, because he was a difference maker tonight.
never worry about Lou Williams. I feel like I say that every show.
But it's good, yeah.
I mean, he came back. He was in quarantine for 10 days, and, he just needs a couple to get going. I was never concerned about Lou, but tonight you have to say he's kind of back. This is vintage Lou Williams, scoring and facilitating, not just scoring, getting the playoffs, as do almost all the rest of all of the rest of the Clippers. But Lou's a big part of what they do, and good to see him kind of with a vintage performance tonight, Corey.
Hey, Don, you know what it kind of seems to me? Lou Williams understands the magnitude. He's very articulate, right? When he speaks, you understand that he really dissects what he's talking about. And the fact is, he understands that he's getting older as a player. And your time of trying to get a championship is coming to an end. So you can see right now, even in the game tonight, he played more with a sense of urgency. And when Lou Williams plays with a sense of urgency, there's no player in the league that can stop this guy. And not just from his scoring. He understands how to facilitate and how to get guys involved. But you're going to see more of this. And once you get Trez back, that combination, that 1-2 punch, is going to be domination.
Well, Don, I'm curious, right? You said yourself that you bring it up a lot, and it's warranted, that Lou doesn't need any time. He's just going to get right back out there. What should we expect? He's going to get right back out there. What should we expect? He's going to get Trez back. Will this fit like a glove and they'll just take off?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Doc does with Lou on Friday, because obviously they can't improve their standing. So is Lou going to play a lot? Does he play because Trez comes back, if he comes back? So we'll see on Friday. But Corey just said it. Lou has been in the league for a long time. I don't think it's going to take him very long to get back on the same page with Trez.
Interesting, at a conference call the other day with Doc, someone asked Doc, you're seeing all these different rotations. Are you going to flirt with some of this in the playoffs when Trez just come back? And all Doc had to say was, the guy's in contention for 6th man of the year. When Trez comes back, I'm throwing him right back in there. So we'll just see. Talked about him pregame. He lived up and beyond the hype. More from the bubble when we come back.
About the 2 seed, and if so, where's this team at in terms of the level you guys want to be moving into the playoffs?
I mean, for us, seeding doesn't necessarily mean anything. Most importantly, we just want to play well. We want to start to get ready and get in the playoff mode. In this bubble, there's no home court advantage. But again, for us, it's just about the small things and building habits and, gaining steam going into these playoffs.
Next question, PG, is from Miriam. Go ahead, Miriam.
Hey, congrats, Paul. Doc was talking about what great shape you and Kawhi are in now, and how when you guys went on the hiatus, you were starting to, really get it together, and then you went on the hiatus and really, worked out and got much stronger and more fit. What's it felt like out there in the last couple weeks with Kawhi and you guys being this fit?
It feels great. I thought coming into this, I did a great job preparing for the bubble, but it's just so hard to simulate game shape and what that does. So that time off did knock me back a little bit. I feel great. My wind is not quite where I wanted, but it's far better than where it was. With that being said, I feel really good. Kawhi's been feeling really good. And I think just overall the staff is managing us going down the stretch.
Next question, Paul's going to come from Kyle, who's there with you in Orlando.
The NBA has called this a whole new season. You've been able to watch a lot of games in this new season from various teams. More confident about your title odds, or less confident, or do you feel like it's just all unpredictable?
It's a lot of unknowns here. There's nothing to be unconfident about. It's an even playing field, and I think for us, we like this moment. There's no distractions. There's no outside noise. We're locked in as a group. I like the environment we're in right here.
this is a team that's geared for what's this, surrounding.
Tomer, go ahead, Tomer.
Hey, Paul, congrats on the win and the number 2 seed. Just looking at, some of the shooters in the league have said that the dark background in the gyms have helped them. It's more of a shooter's gym. Is that beneficial at all to any team, do you think? Like the Denver Nuggets have their altitude and all that. Do you feel like it can be advantageous to some teams?
Well, to answer the first part, I think it is a shooter's gym. I feel great shooting it. It just has a great feel, hooping wise. I think it's just a hooping gym. I think a lot of guys are really shooting it well from behind the three, especially. I'm not sure. I can't speak on other teams. I like this again. I like this environment. I think it's a dream just to lock in, play against a team, especially down these playoff stretches where you just get these matchups and you really can just lock in on a team. Again, there's no distraction. There's no outside noise. There's no extra confidence people gaining from the fans. You got to show up and hoop, play ball. And that's how I get down. Just want to hoop.
Paul George is never leaving the bubble, like ever. He really super likes it. Earlier today, we have a Houston loss, and maybe the bigger loss, Russell Westbrook has a quad strain, so they're talking about the first round of the playoffs questionable for him. Toronto dropping Philly, but because the Pacers beat Houston, Philly locked into that 6th seed now. OKC edging Miami, and so that means the Thunder is headed to a matchup with the Rockets. That should be a good postseason as well. And here are the standings as we speak.
Big day tomorrow to figure out who is getting the 8th seed in the LA Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll be watching that, but we know who the Clippers are playing. Can't wait for the playoffs to start.
I can't wait to figure out the 8th seed. The Portland Trailblazers have really shown that they should be there, as well as the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix can't lose.
We'll see what happens.
Could be a big Thursday. Friday, though, would be the final seeding game, the regular season coming to a close with OKC. It's Friday, 3:30. The Clippers going to roll back out there. Maybe we see Montrezl Harrell, maybe not.
Hopefully we see him get a game under his belt before the playoffs start. And then one more game. But this bubble has gone well for the Clippers. I think they've accomplished everything they needed to. They've handled some adversity along the way. They lock in the 2 seed. Now let's just get ready for the playoffs to start.
Really important to have everyone healthy. That goes for Landry Shamet, Patrick Beverley, and getting Trez back. And once they have the full complementary team, Doc Rivers can basically just take a sigh, just like he finally got all of his players back. So I can't wait to see that happen, and hopefully happen soon. But also, too, Jeannie, speedy recovery for you, Don.
You're going to be hooping.
And then also, I have to do another with Sarah Takata's mom, Jean. I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah.
Jane, I'm sorry.
You're down to like 11 cookies now.
Sorry. I'm looking forward to those chocolate chip cookies that you promised me. I haven't got them yet. I'm throwing it out on our associate producer.
We've turned
Sarah
into a
Takata.
telethon, so I feel like we need to get off the air. But I do need to remind you, good vibes for Don.
I'm waiting on it.
Right, Clipper Nation?
Chocolate chip.
He's down to 8 cookies now.
Bionic
Hip Hop Fridays 3. Those are the Carmack highlights of the night. This is the final, 124-111. Clippers take down the Nuggets. And with the victory, the Clippers clinch the 2 seed. Kawhi Leonard, 26 points, 33 minutes worth of work, and a little bit of time at the microphone. Let's go back to the bubble and hear from him.
Hey, Kawhi, congratulations on the win. What are you guys looking for now that you know you're going to play the Dallas Mavericks? What are some of the things you need to improve on?
Number one, just getting everybody here.
and then just building habits. Pretty much just talking, making sure we're covering each other, playing as a team on both ends of the floor, and that's pretty much it. Just trying to build habits and have less mistakes as we move forward.
Next question comes from Ohm. Go ahead, Ohm.
Hey, Kawhi, when you look back to the moment that you signed with this team and getting Paul George and then everything you guys have been through this season to get the number 2 seed now, what does that mean to you?
I'm just happy it doesn't seem like seeds matter, but, it's a great accomplishment. For me and Paul and the rest of the guys that was here, them being the HC last year and us coming to a new system and, able to, play that well together in our first year with all these circumstances. So we still in the journey and we just got to keep enjoying each day in the process.
Thanks, Ohm. Andrew, go ahead, Andrew.
Well, you mentioned that it seems like seeds don't matter as much. With no true home court advantage in the playoffs, how do you see that affecting the seeding? Do you see that making a more unpredictable playoffs?
Yeah. Just like tonight, we played Denver, so it's really we're not traveling there or pushing through that altitude that they're used to playing to at home. Also fans, but the little things like that, just traveling to that different city and trying to establish yourself and see what routine you can make out there. And those are pretty much the difficulties of.
Ivica Zubac's on the journey as well. We spent a lot of time talking about him pregame. Just when you think the young guy hit about right this level and he's starting to plateau, he finds another level. I thought he came out a little bit more energized, maybe not trying to prove a point, but just showing his worth immediately.
No, I think he is trying to prove a point. A lot of people talk about, is he going to be able to stay on the floor guarding Jokic? He's taken the challenge this entire seeding round of games, and another nice night, 15 and 12. I think he's tired of having to sit because of matchups. He's trying to prove that he can stay on the floor with any matchup, and I thought he did a great job on Jokic. Went back at him, made him guard him, attacked the offensive board, and Corey, he just continues to grow night after.
He rose to the basket, looking for the basketball. And Donna, for a big player, you don't want to put the ball on the floor. You don't want to keep it down. He always has high hands to get the basketball. So I'm really proud of what Ivica is trying to do as a player. But if he continues to play with great poise, energetic, doing his job, there's no reason why he shouldn't stay on the floor. And that's, like you said, that's one of the reasons why Ivica continues to be in the better conditioning so he can be on the floor. So there's no problem with him being able to guard guys on the court that can move a lot faster than him laterally.
Corey used the word luxury pregame in reference to Marcus Morris Sr. I think we saw that again tonight. Just another great option out there on the court.
Defensively, he was fantastic, and I think Corey, it's time.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it nice. Can I have my Fox Vision, please? Thank you very much.
That was very sweet.
Look at that. Look at this change.
So respectful.
Well,
and I think Corey, it's time.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it nice. Can I have my Fox Vision, please? Thank you very much.
That was very sweet.
Look at that. Look at this change.
So respectful.
Well, you know what? He didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight, but he did all the intangibles. Right there, he got into spots to stop the drive from Torrey Craig. And look, the next play. Look at what Marcus Morris. He runs over to the other side, stops the play, gets the rebound, and now his team is in transition. The great play here guarding Plumlee. Plumlee tries to bag him down and muscle Marcus Morris on that position. He holds him up, he holds his ground, and gets the possession. And that's the things that you want from Marcus Morris. You're not going to be a 20-point scorer on this team. You have to do all the intangibles and being able to guard fours and fives, and then to the position where you can actually switch to that 3 position and dominate from that position.
13-point victory for Denver Nuggets. Paul George, a large part of the action. We're going to hear from him when we come back.
Clippers Live is brought to you by Nissan. Take off in a new Nissan before summer